You've been holding that one since 9:15. Chest up high, like you're waiting on a sign. Nobody's coming to tell you it's alright, so I'll say it right here at the front of the night. Let it out slow, let it out long, longer than you think, longer than the song. There's more in there than you know that you keep, and it comes out easy and it goes out deep. Not a big thing, not a thing you have to learn, just the oldest trick there is, and it's your turn. Slow exhale, let it all go. Warm and easy, long and low. Slow exhale, nothing to keep. That's the whole road down into sleep. Everybody's teaching you to take it all in. Fill the whole chest up and hold it like a sin. Nobody says a word about the other half, the half where you put it down and let out the laugh. That's where the good part lives, that's where it's warm. That's the quiet on the far side of the storm. And it costs you nothing, and it takes about 10 long, slow ones, and you'll feel it come again. Not a big thing, not a thing you have to learn, just the oldest trick there is, and it's your turn. Slow exhale, let it all go. Warm and easy, long and low. Slow exhale, nothing to keep. That's the whole road down into sleep. So put the shoulders down and let the jaw come loose. Nobody in this room, you have to prove it to. The lamps turn low and the record's going round, and the whole night's laid out easy on the ground. Take one more, take it slow, take it deep. Let it come out warm and let it come out cheap. Nothing to it, nothing you have to do, just the oldest thing there is, doing it for you. Out, out, let the whole thing out. That's what all this warm is about. Easy and long, nothing about letting go is wrong. So exhale, let it all go. Warm and easy, yeah, long and low. Slow exhale, nothing to keep, nothing to keep. That's the whole road down into sleep. Slow exhale, let it out warm, let it out well, let it out But it pumped this whole week up too tight. Every hour packed hard from the morning to the night. And it looked real solid, and it held shape fine, right up until it didn't, right around 9. Now I'm sitting in the kitchen with the lights turned down, letting the whole thing go soft on the ground. And it's better this way, it was always gonna be. A little less air in it and a lot more me. Doesn't have to be full to be worth the ride. There's a whole lot of room on the softer side. Let the air out, let it go down. Nothing worth holding that tight in this town. Everything's better a little more low. Everything's better a little more low. I used to think a full week meant a good one. Every square fit in by the time it was done. And I look at the page and I'd feel like a man. And then Sunday would come and I couldn't stand. Couldn't sit either, couldn't do a thing. Just wound up tight with the phone still ringing. Now I leave the squares open, leave a couple blank, and that's where the whole rest of the good stuff sang. Oh, doesn't have to be full to be worth the ride. There's a whole lot of room on the softer side. Let the air out, let it go down. Oh, nothing worth holding that tight in this town. Let the air out. Everything's better a little more low. Everything's better a little more low. So here's Thursday evening with nothing in the box. No planning, no dinner, no calls and no clocks. And I don't know yet what any of it's for. And that's the best feeling I've had since before. Might read for an hour, might sit here instead. Might go to bed early with nothing in my head. And whatever it turns into, it'll turn on its own. Because I let the air out and I left it alone. Out, little bit out. Nothing about full is what it's about. Out, leave a little room. Something good grows in an empty afternoon. Out, let it go down. No, nothing worth holding that tight in this town. Oh, everything's better a little more low. Let the air out, let it go. Warm and easy, soft and low. Leave a square empty on the page. That's the whole trick at any age. Out, let it down. Best thing going in this town. There's a thing that the old horn players know. You don't get the long line by moving it fast, you go slow. One breath carries further than three ever will. If you let it out even and you keep the whole thing still. Same with a Tuesday, same with a year. You can chop it into pieces or you can carry it clear. And the ones that go clear are the ones you recall. One long breath from the fall to the fall. Not more air, just a steadier hand. Longest line in the room and nobody planned. One long breath all the way out. That's what the whole warm thing is about. Long breath, low and wide. Everything you're looking for is on the other side. I watched a man play a phrase for about 30 bars. Never took a breath in, never reached that far. Just kept it going, saw that, and let it get thin. And the room went so quiet you could hear the pen. And when they finally let it stop, nobody clapped. Everybody just sat there like the whole place was trapped. Yeah, that's not technique, that's not a trick you learn. That's just somebody willing to wait for their turn. Oh, not more air, just a steadier hand. Longest line in the room and nobody playing. One long breath all the way out. That's what the whole warm thing is about. Long breath, low and wide. Everything you're looking for is on the other side. You in 100 short bursts, every short burst, every one of them urgent in, and every one the worst. Try the other thing, try the long low line. Take the whole afternoon and just keep it in time. Nothing gets finished any faster that way, but you come out the fire and still able to play, able to play. And that's the part nobody measures or sees. Yeah, see. The man who's still standing at the end of the week, long. That's what the good ones always do. Long, long, low and slow. Take it further than you think you can go. One long breath all the way out. That's what the whole warm thing is about. On breath, low and wide. Everything you're looking for is on the other side. One long breath all the way out. That's what the whole warm thing is about. Long breath, low and wide. Everything you're looking for is on the other side. I caught myself in the glass at the end of the hall, shoulders up by my ears like I'm braced for a fall. Didn't even know I've been carrying them there. Somewhere around Tuesday they just went up in the air, and I stood there a minute and I let them come down. And I swear I got 2 inches taller in that town. Nothing had changed and a week was the same. It was just me finally putting down the frame. Nobody tells you when you started to hold. You just look at one day and the whole thing's cold. Shoulders coming down slow. That's the first one thing that a body gets to know. Shoulders coming down, low and wide. Everything you needed was already inside. There's a whole language the body's been speaking while the head's been busy planning and scheming. Jaw locked at 11, hands in a fist. Half the day gone and none of it missed. And it doesn't take much to start letting it go. Just noticing it, just letting it show. The shoulders come first and then the rest follows down. Slow as good news in the whole of this town. Nobody tells you when you started to hold. You just look at one day and the whole thing's cold. Shoulders coming down slow. That's the first one thing that a body gets to know. Shoulders coming down, low and wide. Everything you needed was already inside. I've got a check I do around 6 every night, where I stand in the kitchen and I let it come right. Shoulders, then the jaw, then the hands and the chest. Takes about a minute and it beats all the rest. No app and no teacher and no money change hands. Just an old piece of knowledge that a body understands. And I sleep a whole lot better than I did last year, because I put the weight down and I left it right here. Down, down, let the shoulders come down. Nothing coming for you anywhere in town. Oh, down, down, let the jaw come loose. That's the whole thing, that's the whole you. Shoulders coming down slow. That's the first one thing that a body gets to know. Shoulders coming down, low and wide. Everything you needed was already inside. Shoulders coming down tonight. Let it come, it'll come out right. Low and wide and warm and slow. First good thing a body gets to know. Down, 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 down. Let it go. Warm and easy. I kept a little in reserve for about 15 years. Never gave the whole thing, never showed the fear. Figured if I held some back then I couldn't get hurt. And it worked pretty good, and it also didn't work, because the half I kept out never went anywhere. Just sat in the corner, get stale in the air. And the people who loved me loved the part they could see, and the rest of it went nowhere and stayed on with me. Turns out the keeping was the whole cost. The part I saved was the part that got lost. Nothing held back in, let it all come out. That's the only way to know what the thing's about. Nothing held back in, warm and long. Give the whole thing over, and you can't go wrong. Started small, it wasn't any big change. Just said one true thing, and it felt real strange. And nobody died, and the room stayed the same. Somebody across the table said my name, and that was it. That was the whole door. Took me 15 years to find what it was for. Now I put the whole thing out on the table every time, and I've never once regretted it, not a dime. Turns out the keeping was the whole cost. The part I saved was the part that got lost. Nothing held back in, let it all come out. That's the only way to know what the thing's about. Nothing held back in, warm and long. Give the whole thing over, and you can't go wrong. Same way with a song, same way with a night. You can play it careful and get most of it right, or you can put the whole hand down and let the thing fall, and be wrong half the time and be worth it all. The careful ones are fine, I've heard 100 through, and I couldn't harm you one, and neither could you. But the ones that gave it up, the ones that let it go, those I carry with me everywhere I go. I'll put the whole thing out. That's what the whole warm life is about. Nothing left in, that's the only place it's ever going Everybody listen to the note when it lands. Nobody's paying much attention to the hands coming off, letting the whole thing. That's a part that makes it worth anything. Same with a sentence, same with a room, same with a day, and same with a tune. It's not the thing you said, it's the quiet it came after. That's where the weight is, and that's where the laughter. Leave it alone a second, don't fill it back up. There's more in an empty than there is in a cup. The space after, space after, space after, space after. That's the whole warm part, that's what comes after. The space after, space after, low and long, space after. Everything worth hearing is right there when it's gone. I talked over the good parts for about 20 years, nervous in the silence, filling up the years. Somebody say something, and I jump right in. Never let a thing land, never let it sink in. Then I sat with somebody who wouldn't do that, just looked at me easy and let the quiet sit fast. And I nearly came apart in about 30 seconds, and then I didn't, and something opened it. Leave it alone a second, don't fill it back up. There's more in an empty than there is in a cup. The space after, space after, space after, space after. That's a whole warm part, that's what comes after. The space after, space after, low and long, space after. Everything worth hearing is right there when it's gone. So the drummer leaves a bar and the room leans in. That's the loudest thing that's happened all evening. And the bass just walks and the Rhodes barely moves, and the whole place is holding when nobody proves. That's a kind of generosity, that's a kind of trust, believing that the listener will do what they must, which is come to it themselves and feel it their way. That's the best thing that a player can play. After, let it hang in the air. Everything you meant is already in there. After, don't fill it in. That's where the whole warm thing begins. The space after, space after, space after, space after. That's the whole warm part, that's what comes after. The space after, space after, low and long, space after. Everything worth hearing is right there when it's gone. There's quiet in a room and it's easy to buy. Thick doors and a curtain and a street that's gone dry. But there's another kind you can't get with a key. That one lives in the chest and it's harder to see. I've had the first kind for years at a stretch. Sat in the silence with nothing left to catch. And the noise kept on going the whole time inside. Loudest empty room where a man ever tried. It's not about the sound, it never was. It's about what the low part of you does. Quiet in the chest, quiet down deep. That's the only kind a man gets to keep. Oh, yeah. Quiet in the chest, warm and slow. Oh, that's the whole thing. That's all I know. It came on me sideways about 2 years back. Sitting in traffic on a Tuesday, way in the back. Nothing special happening and nothing going right, and just a radio low and the end of the light. And something in me let go that I've been holding since school. And I sat in that car feeling brand new and a fool. And the traffic moved on and I drove myself home. And I've had the quiet with me ever since then. Yeah, it's not about the sound, it never was. It's about what the low part of you does. Quiet in the chest, quiet down deep. That's the only kind a man gets to keep. Oh, yeah. Quiet in the chest, warm and slow. The whole thing, that's all I know. Now the street can be loud and the day can go wrong, and the whole thing can come at me all evening long. And there's a flaw underneath it that doesn't move. Nothing left in this world I still have to prove. It is not that I got tougher, I got softer instead. Just quit arguing with things in my head. And a quiet came in through the door, I let go. Warm as a kitchen and twice as slow. Quiet, quiet, under the sound. Deepest warm pain that a man ever found. Quiet, quiet, low in the chest. That's the whole of it. Forget the rest. Quiet in the chest, quiet down deep. Oh, that's the only kind a man gets to keep. Oh, yeah. Quiet in the chest, warm and slow. Oh, that's the whole thing. That's all I know. Quiet in the chest tonight. Oh, nothing left to get right. Warm and slow and down deep, only kind since the end of the spring, wrapped up careful like it's worth something. And maybe it was once, and maybe it earned its keep, but it's heavy in the daylight and it's louder in sleep. Nobody's asking you to throw it away. Just open up your hands and let it go its own way. Believe if you let it, that's the thing about grief. It's been waiting on your permissions for relief. Doesn't need a ceremony, doesn't need a word, just an easy another grip, that's all it ever heard. Let it leave you, let it go out, that's what the whole long night's about. Let it leave you warm and slow, everything you're holding wants to go. I held one for 11 years past its time, kept it polished and I kept it in line. Told myself I owed it, told myself it was mine. Told myself a lot of things and none of them fine. Then somebody asked me plain what it was for, and I opened up my mouth and it wasn't anymore. And it went out of the room like it had somewhere to be, and I sat there lighter than I've been since I was 3. It doesn't need a ceremony, doesn't need a word, just an easing of the grip, that's all it ever heard. Let it leave you, let it go out, that's what the whole long night's about. Let it leave you warm and slow, everything you're holding wants to go. That's not what this is. It mattered like a house matters. When you move out of it, you take the good with you, and you leave the walls behind, and the walls do the standing, and you go on and find another room to be warm in, another light to turn low, another night with a record and somewhere to go. Nothing gets erased and nothing gets undone. It just stops being a weight that you carry in the sun. Leave, leave, let the whole thing leave. Nothing about letting go is naive. And leave, leave, open up the hand. It's been waiting on you longer than you understand. Let it leave you, let it go out, that's what the whole long night's about. Let it leave you warm and slow, everything you're holding wants to go. Let it leave you, let it leave, nothing left in you to grieve. Warm and slow and going out, that's what the whole night's about. Open the hand, let it go. Everything is already slow.
The best arrangement I ever heard had 4 things in it: bass and drums and a chord and somebody singing. And it sounded twice as big as the ones with 12, because everything in it had a place to itself. Same with a kitchen and same with a life. You can pack it to the corners and be busy all night, or you can take 3 things out and let the rest breathe and be twice as full as the ones who don't leave. Room isn't empty, room is the point. It's the space in the thing that makes the thing work. Room to breathe, room to move, nothing in this world that you have to prove. Room to breathe, warm and wide. Take a couple things out and let it slide out. Yeah. producer once who kept saying, take it away. Every time I brought him something new to play. More guitar, more horn, more anything at all. And he'd sit there and he'd point and say, take it off the wall. Drove me half out of my head for about a year, till the day I heard the record and it all came clear. Everything you can hear all the way, because he kept taking things out of my way. Is an empty room is the point. It's the space and the thing that makes the thing work. Room to breathe, room to move. Nothing in this world that you have to prove. Room to breathe, warm and wide. Take a couple things out and let it slide. Ooh, yeah. So the calendar's got holes in it, and I like it that way. Yeah. 2 things on a Tuesday and nothing Saturday. And people ask me what I'm doing and I say not much. And they look at me funny, like I've lost my touch. Yeah. But I've never been more useful in my whole life. Never had more left over at the end of the night. Turns out the room I was leaving was the thing that made everything else worth doing. Room, leave a little room. Nothing worth having gets rushed into bloom. Yeah, take a couple out. That's what the whole thing's about. Room to breathe, room to move. Nothing in this world that you have to prove. Room to breathe, warm and wide. Take a couple things out and let it slide. Room to breathe, room to move. Nothing left in here to prove. Warm and wide and mostly air. Everything you need is already there. Take it out, yeah, let it be, yeah. That's the whole of it to me. Take it out, let it be, yeah. That's the whole of it to me. Take it out, yeah, let it be, yeah. That's the whole of it to me. Take it out, yeah, let it be, yeah. That's the whole of it to me.
Every night's got a place where it comes back to ground. And most of us hit it going way too fast down. Phone in the hand and the lights all on. Straight from the day into being gone. There's a better way in and it takes about an hour. Turn the lamps down low and give up the power. Let the whole thing come down like a plane finding a field. Long and slow and level and sea. Nobody lands well coming in steep. That's not arriving, that's falling asleep. Soft landing coming down slow. Long and easy, warm and low. Soft landing, take the long way in. That's how the good part of the night begins. I used to work till 11 and then lie there wide, wondering why the whole thing wouldn't come down inside. Because you can't stop a body at 100 miles an hour and then ask it politely to give up its power. It needs the descent, it needs a long slope. It needs an hour of nothing and a little bit of hope. Now I quit around 9 and I don't do a thing, and I'm out by 11 like a stone in the spring.
Nobody lands welcoming and steep. There's not arriving that's falling asleep. Soft landing coming down slow, long and easy, warm and low. Soft landing take a long way in. That's how the good part of the night begins. Soft landing coming down slow, long and easy, warm and low. Soft landing take a long way in. That's how the good part of the night begins. So the hour before bed is the best hour I've got. Not because of anything I do with it a lot. Just a record and a lamp and the dishes in the sink and a good long while where I don't have to think. It's not a waste of time. It's the whole reason for the day. It's what makes the next one worth getting up to play. Everybody skips it and everybody pays. Longest, warmest, easiest hour of my day. Down, down. Da 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 da, down, down, down. Take it down slow, long and level, warm and low and low. Down, down, take the whole hour. That's where the good part gets his power. Soft landing coming down slow, long and easy, warm and low. Soft landing take the long way in. That's how the good part of the night begins. Soft landing coming in low, long and easy, taking it slow. Lamp turned down, record on, whole night coming, whole day gone. Down, down, easy and warm, nothing out here doing harm.
Halfway down is the worst place to stop. Not going and not still, just stuck at the top. Or whatever it is you were letting go of. That's a place where a body gets rough. Either keep it up high and get on with the day, or take it all the way down and let it stay. But don't leave it hanging in the middle like that. That's how a week turns into somebody flat. All the way up or all the way through. Nothing good ever came from halfway for you. Take it all the way down, all the way low, further than you thought you were willing to go. Take it all the way down, warm and long. That's the only place you're gonna find the song. I spent about 4 years at a comfortable half, not working hard and not having a laugh, just idling somewhere around a 5 out of 10. Never really down and never really thin. And I called it balance because that sounded fine, but it wasn't balance, it was staying in line. Then a bad winter took me all the way to the floor, and I found something down there I'd never found before. All the way up or all the way through. Nothing good ever came from halfway for you. Take it all the way down, all the way It's warm at the bottom, that's the part they don't say. Everybody's scared of and stays halfway, but the floor's got a floor and it holds you up fine. And it's quiet down there and you got all the time. And when you come back up, you come up all the way. And you don't idle, light a fire for another day. So take it all the way down when it's time to go down. Warmest, lowest, quietest place in this town. Down, down, all the way down. Nothing waiting for you up in that town. Down, down, low and long. That's the only place you'll find a song. Take it all the way down, all the way low, further than you thought you were willing to go. Take it all the way down, warm and long. That's the only place you're gonna find a song. All the way down, all the way low, further than you thought you'd go. Warm at the bottom, quiet and long. That's where you're going to find a song. Oh, down, 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 all the way down, all the way down, low, further than you thought you'd go. Warm at the bottom, quiet and long. That's where you're gonna find the song. Down, down, let it go. All the way down, warm and slow. Somebody gave me a Saturday once with nothing in it, not a plan, not a call, not a single minute. And I didn't know what to do with the thing at first. Wandered around the house like I was cursed. Then about 2 o'clock it finally came on, that whole warm feeling of a day with nothing wrong. And I sat by the window with a book I never read, and that Saturday's still going round in my head. Costs you nothing, gives you back the year. Just a whole day standing empty right here. Breathing room, breathing room. Nothing in the world that has to happen soon. Breathing room, warm and wide. Whole empty day and nowhere to hide. People get nervous when they got nothing on, like the value of a person isn't what's getting done. And I understand it, I was born into that. Whole family measuring the day by the stack, but my grandmother didn't, and she outlived them all. Sat on that porch every evening in the fall, doing exactly nothing for an hour or two, and she was the warmest person that I ever knew. Costs you nothing, gives you back the year. Just a whole day standing empty right here. Breathing room, breathing room. Nothing in the world that has to happen soon. Breathing room, warm and wide. Whole empty day and nowhere to hide.
calendar the same as a job. Whole Saturday blocked out and marked with nothing on. And people ask me what I'm doing and I tell them straight, nothing, and I'm not gonna be late. And it sounds like a joke, but it's the realest thing I do. It's the reason the other 6 days come out true. There's no version of a good week I have ever seen that didn't have a whole day of nothing in between. Oh, room, leave the whole day out. That's what the whole warm thing's about. Room, nothing on the page. Best decision you'll make at any age. Breathe in room, breathe in room. Hey. Nothing in the world that has to happen soon. Breathe in room, warm and wide. Hey. Whole empty day, you know where to hide. Breathe in room, breathe in room. Nothing happening anytime soon. Warm and wide, and mostly air. Whole empty day, just sitting there. Leave it out, let it be. That's the best day of the week to me.
Doesn't come on
All at once, that's not how it works. Nobody wakes up Sunday and the whole thing's unhooked. It goes a pound at a time and it takes about a year. And most of it happens when you're not standing near. One day you notice that you slept the whole night. Another day you laugh and it comes out right. And you can't point to the moment when it started to change. You just look back at the man and he's out of range. Slow is the only speed it ever comes off. Anybody selling faster is selling something soft. The weight comes off. The weight comes off. Slower than you want and warmer than you thought. The weight comes off. Low and long. And one day you wake up and the whole thing's gone. I wanted it gone in an afternoon. Read all the books and I bought the whole tune. Sat there waiting for the big turnaround. And nothing came and I stayed on the ground. Then I quit waiting and just went on living. Coffee in the morning and a little bit of giving. And the thing came off while I wasn't looking at all. Somewhere between last winter and this fall. Slow is the only speed it ever comes off. Anybody selling fast and selling something soft. The weight comes off. The weight comes off. Slower than you want and warmer than you thought. The weight comes off. Low and long. And one day you'll wake up there and the whole thing gone. Now and it's heavy and nothing's moving and you're not ready. That's fine, that's the part, that's exactly where it is. It doesn't feel like progress, but it always is. Just keep the small things going, keep the coffee at 8. Keep one person close and keep the record straight. And it'll come off you the way that it does. Slow and unnoticed and warm because it was all a pound at a time. Nothing about slow is a crime. All low and long. But one day off, the weight comes off, low and long, low and long. One day you wake up and the whole thing gone. Always does, slower than you wanted, warmer than it was, low and longer, and out of sight. One of these mornings it'll be alright. Off, a pound at a time. It's coming off and you're doing fine. There's a short way out of anything you're in. Cut it clean, walk off, and never be begin. And I've taken that one more times, and I'll say, and it works right up till the middle of the day. Then there's a long way, and it costs you a year. Sitting in the middle of it, staying right here, letting the whole thing go out of you slow. That's the only exit that I actually know. Short way's a door, long way's a road. One of them's empty and one carries the load. The long way out, the long way through, that's the only door that ever opens for you. The long way out, warm and slow. Take the whole year, take it low. Everybody I know who took the short way out is somewhere right now still talking about the thing they walked out of about 9 years back, carrying the whole thing around in a sack. And the ones who stayed in it and let it go out don't talk about it much, don't think about it much. It went out of them the way that it needed to go, and they don't carry anything, they just move slow. Short way's a door, long way's always a road. One of them's empty and one carries the load. The long way out, the long way through, that's the only door that ever opens for you. The long way out, warm and slow. Take the whole year, take it low. I'm on one now, about 8 months in. Nothing's resolved and nothing's begun. And there are mornings I'd give a lot for the door, and I know what's behind it because I've been there before. So I put the kettle on and I sit with the thing, and I let another day of it go out on a wing. And it's slower than I want, and it's warmer than I thought, and it's the only road out that I ever bought. Long, long, take the long way through. That's the only one that ever works for you. Long, long, low and slow. Take the whole year, let it go. The long way out, the long way through. That's the only door that ever opens for you. The long way out, warm and slow. Take the whole year, take it low. Short way, never alone. Long, low and slow, and 8 months in, that was a whole thing yet to begin. Long, let it go, let it go. Take the whole year, take it slow. Whole house on a Sunday in June. Every drawer and every closet in the room above the room. Threw out about half of it and gave away the rest. And came down the stairs at 6 with an empty chest. Not sad empty, the other kind. The kind where you can finally own mind. And I stood in the hallway with nothing in my hands, and I felt like a man who finally understands. Everything I kept was keeping something else. That's what the whole warm Sunday was about. Nothing left to hold, nothing left to keep. Everything I need is on this side of sleep. Nothing left to hold, warm and wide. Whole house breathing and I'm alright inside. It's not about the objects, they never were the thing. It's about what you're telling yourself by keeping. Every box up there was a version of me that I was still waiting around to finally be. And when I let them go, I let the waiting go too. And there wasn't anybody left that I had to be true to, except the one standing in the hall at 6 with his hands empty and nothing left to fix. Everything I kept was keeping something out. That's what the whole warm Sunday was about. Nothing left to hold, nothing left to keep. Everything I need is on this side of sleep. Nothing left to hold, warm and wide. Whole house breathing and I'm alright inside. And the light gets through, and there's a whole wall empty, and I like the view. And people come over and they say it feels good, and they can't say why, and I don't think they should. It's just room, that's all. It's just what's not there. It's the oldest luxury, and it's mostly air. And it cost me one Sunday about 9 bags, and it's the best thing I've done in a good many days. Nothing left to hold. Warmest empty house that a man ever sold. Nothing wide and clear. Everything I needed is already here. Nothing left to hold, nothing left to keep. Everything I need is on this side of sleep. Nothing left to hold, warm and wide. Whole house breathing and I'm all right inside. Nothing left to hold tonight. Empty hallway in the evening light, warm and wide and full of air. Everything I need is already there. Let it go, let it be. Nothing left to hold on me. Somebody figured out a long time ago that a room does its best work turned down low. One lamp in the corner and the ceiling gone dark, and everybody in it finally drops the mark. Faces go soft and the voices come down, and the whole hard edge goes out of the town. It's not a trick, it's just what a body does when you take away the brightness that it was under. Warm air coming through the half-open door. That's about all a good evening's for. Warm air, low light, easy and slow, best two things that a room ever knows. Warm air, low light, wide and long, everything softens and nothing goes wrong. I've been in 100 rooms, a little like a store, every corner accounted for, and nothing to explore. And nobody says anything true in there, not one time, not at once, I swear. Then somebody kills the overheads and lights one lamp, and within about 10 minutes the whole thing's changed camp, and people are saying things they'd never have said, because you can't be exposed in a room that's half red. We're coming through the room that's half red. Warm air coming through the half-open door. That's about all a good evening's for. Warm air, low light, easy and slow, best two things that a room ever knows. Warm air, low light, wide and long, everything softens and nothing goes wrong.
That's the whole recipe, and it isn't much. One lamp, a cracked window, and something to touch. A record going low, and a couple of chairs, and whoever shows up and whatever they bid. It'll do more for a person than most things do, and it costs about nothing, and it's true. Warm air and low light and a long enough night, and most of what's broken comes back around right. A low, take the light on down. Softest thing you can do in this town. Warm, crack the window wide. Everything easier on the low side. Low light, easy and slow. Best two things that a room ever knows. Warm air, low light, wide and long. Everything softens and nothing goes wrong. Yeah, warm air, low light. Best two things about a night. Easy and slow and wide and long. Everything softens and nothing goes wrong. One lamp, cracked window, chair. That's the whole recipe, right? Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Around the second now, everything loosens up. The band stops watching, and the room fills the cup. Nobody's counting, and nobody's tight, and the whole thing starts playing itself right. You can't get there early, and you can't rush it in. You just have to be there when it wants to begin. And most people leave about 10 minutes before, and they never find out what the whole thing was for. Second hour's the one that's always been true. First ones are showing up, second one's for you. Everything loose, everything giggles. That's the hour where the whole thing lives. Everything loosens, warm and long. Stay past the point where you think it's gone. Same in a friendship, the same in a year. First part's all edges and being careful here. And somewhere around the 18th month, something in it gives and it stops being a hunt. And you can say the dumb thing, and you can go quiet, and nobody's checking, and nobody's tired. That's the part worth staying for, and most people don't. They bail in the first hour, and they never won't. Second hour's the one that's always been true. First ones were showing up, second one's for you. Everything loosens, everything gives. Ooh, that's the hour where the whole thing lives. Everything loosens, warm and long. Stay past the point where you think it's gone.
complete now. That's the one thing I do. Not because I'm tough and not to get through, just because I found out where the good part hides. It's about 90 minutes past when everybody decides, and it's not always there, and some nights it's not. But when it comes around, it's the best thing I've got. And I wouldn't have known if I left at 11. Second hour was a whole warm heaven. Loosen, loosen, let the whole thing give. Second hour's the one where you live. Loosen, loosen, warm and long. Stay past the point where you think it's gone. Everything loosen, everything give. Ooh, that's the hour where the whole thing lives. Everything loosen, warm and long. Stay past the point where you think it's gone. Everything loosen, everything give. Ooh, second hour's the one that lives. Warm and long and going slow. Ooh, stay past the point where you normally go. Ooh, loosen, loosen, let it be. Best hour of the night to me. Last one on the record and the room's nearly done. Somebody asleep on the couch and the rest of us won. Whatever it was that we came here to win, which was mostly just the evening being let in. The lamb's on its last hour and the coffee's gone cold. And nobody said anything for a good while now. And that's not a silence that anybody has to fill. That's just the sound of the whole thing going still. Nothing left to add and nothing left to say. Best possible way to finish out it. Let it go quiet, let it go slow. That's the last warm thing that a night gets to know. Let it go quiet, let it go long. Everything ends and nothing goes wrong. I used to be scared of the end of the night. Always the last one turning off the light. Always trying to keep it going. One more song. Like something got lost when the evening was gone. Now I like this part best, this coming down bit, where the whole thing settles and everybody sits and nobody's performing and nobody's on, and the room's just a room and the day's just gone. Nothing left to add and nothing left to say. Best possible way to finish out it. Let it go quiet, let it go slow. That's the last one thing that a night gets to know. Let it go quiet, let it go long. Everything ends and nothing goes wrong. then somebody will get up and get somebody home, and the rest of us will sit here a minute alone. And that's the whole thing, that's what we came for. Not the big part in the middle that's bid by the door. The long, slow letting out at the end of it all. Warmest, quietest, easiest fall. Quiet, quiet, let the whole thing go. Warm at the end and taking it slow. Quiet, quiet, let it out long. Everything ends and nothing goes wrong. Let it go slow. Oh, that's the last one thing that a night gives to know. Let it go quiet. Let it go long. Everything ends and nothing goes wrong. Let it go quiet. Let it go quiet. Let it go warm at the end, taking it slow. Long and low and nearly gone. Everything ends and nothing goes wrong. Let it go quiet, let it be. Then it goes unexpected, then goes wrong. Let it go quiet, let it be. That's the whole